राम धन्यवादाः श्रेयस महोदय। सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वक नमस्काराः। रामभुजङ्गप्रयातस्तोत्रं पारायणाभ्यासः इति अस्यां कक्ष्यायां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। वसन्तनवरात्रि महोत्सवस्य हार्दाः अनन्ताः शुभाशयाः। A very warm welcome to all of you to this new course which is starting today. Learn to chant Sri Ramabhujanga-prayata Stotram, composed by none other than Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavat-padacharya. It is a beautiful stotram of 29 verses. And also yesterday was ugadi, and now we have Vasanta Navaratri going on till Sri Ramanavami, which will be the concluding day and the day when we will have our samarpanam for this course. So it is a wonderful yajna that we have undertaken during this auspicious time, the beginning of the new year, and during this Vasanta Navaratri leading up to Sri Ramanavami. Adau Mangalashlokan Vadamaha Guruvandanancha Uktva Kakshayaha Prarambham Kurmaha. Gururev gatirgurumev bhaje Gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave Na guroh paramam shishurasmi guroh Matirasti gurau mama pahi guro Shruti-smriti-purana-namalaya karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-pada-shankaram-loka-shankaram Bharati-tirtha-varyantam Bhakta-hritta-panashanam Bhava-bhiti-haram devam Bhavaye satatam hridi Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vidhushekhara Bharati Ananta Guna Sampannam Anantabhidhaya Shrutam Ananta Jnana Datrim Tam Mataram Pranumo Vayam. Okay, so we began with Guru Vandanam to all our gurus, to Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya, who is the composer of this stotram, to our Jagat Guravaha of Dakshinamnaya Sringeri Sri Sharada Peetham, and to our Guru, my Mata, Vidushi Ananta Lakshmi Natarajan Mahodaya, whom we all dearly refer to as Anantam Mata, who taught many of us this stotram and helped us to appreciate the beauty of this stotram and many others. A warm welcome once again. We'll begin with a brief introduction today. So as we all know, Adi Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya, a proponent of Advaita, he has composed many works. And as our Mata used to say, he was so compassionate to have everyone in mind, scholars, jnanis, those who were, at the highest level of understanding, appreciating Vedanta, and those who were still in the baby steps towards spiritual evolution and Atma Jnana. So keeping everyone in mind, he has composed various types of works. So beginning from his bhashyas, of the foundational works of Sanatana Dharma and Vedanta, which include his bhashyas on Brahma Sutras, the Upanishads, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And then he has composed Prakarana Granthas like Viveka Chudamani and many others. And he has composed many short stotrams for everyone, including young children who are just beginning to speak. They can also be taught these stotrams. And like they learn, in school, they learn nursery rhymes and all that. So at a very young age, also, these are beautiful stotrams he has composed with a lot of tattva, jnanam, and bhakti. And there are multiple such stotrams, which we all, I'm sure, are aware of, like Gurvashtakam, Sharada-Bhujanga-prayata Stotram, and Mohamudgaram, also known as Bhajagovindam, and Shivamanasa Puja, and bigger stotrams, if you say, like Saundarya Lahari, Shivananda Lahari, and Shiva Panchakshari Stotram. So multiple stotrams he has composed, keeping all of us in mind and keeping even the very young learners in mind, young both in terms of age and in terms of our understanding of Vedanta and all that. So this stotram is another very beautiful stotram composed by Adi Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya. And as the name itself suggests, it describes Sri Rama. And it is in what we call the Bhujanga-prayata meter. The name itself has it, which is a very attractive meter. So meter is chandas, like we say in Sanskrit. So we have multiple meters in Sanskrit, like Anushtup, the meter which has 8 letters for each pada, which we find in many of the shlokas in Bhagavad Gita, in Ramayanam, etc. A very popular meter. Then we have others like Vasanta Tilaka, Shardula Vikreditam, Shikharini, many of them. There is a course in Vyoma, if you all are interested, on Chandas itself. So this particular stotram is in what we call Bhujanga-prayata Chandas. It is very attractive, as you will all learn today. And he has composed quite a few stotrams in Bhujanga meter. Sharda Bhujanga Stotram, Ganesha Bhujanga Stotram, Gurvashtakam, Subramanya Bhujangam, very famous, and Sri Ramabhujanga-prayata Stotram. So in this meter, each pada, quarter, has 12 letters. And the first, what we do is we actually divide the letters into groups of 3 when we are learning about chandas. So if it is 12 for each pada and we divide it in groups of 3, we get 4 groups. So each group, the same pattern repeats. So each group of 3 is called a gana, and the same pattern repeats. And if you listen, those who are familiar with chandas, all this will already be known to you. But even if we don't know what chandas it is, etc., even if we listen to stotrams of similar meter, we will realize. For example, his Gurvashtakam goes like Shariram Surupam Tatha Vakalatram Yashascharu Chitram Dhanam Meru Tulyam Manaschennalagnam Gurorangri Padme Tatah Kim Tatah Kim Tatah Kim Tatah Kim. Similarly, Sharda Bhujangam, you will see the similarity. Suvakshoja kumbham sudha purna kumbham prasadavalam prapunyavalam sadasyendu bimbam sadanoshta bimbam bhaje sharadambam ajasram madambam. So you get the similarity, right? In the meter. And Subramanya Bhujangam. Sada Bala Rupapi Vignadrihantri Mahadanti Vaktrapi Panchasya Manya Vidhindradi Mrigya Ganesha Bhidhame Vidhattam Shriyankapi Kalyana Murtihi. So you see how there is a similarity in the rhythm. So that is the beauty. Once you learn stotras, you will internalize the rhythm yourself. And here, Ramabhujanga-prayata Stotram also is similar. Vishuddham param satchidananda rupam. You can chant it in any raga, but we are going to be following this tune. There are multiple tunes. We are going to follow one tune for all the verses. So coming to the Stotram, beauty is again a wonderful description of Bhagavan Sri Rama. Not only his attributes as Sri Ramachandra, but also the Nirguna aspects. So as we know, we have both Saguna and Nirguna aspects in our Tattva. Kshamyatam. So Bhagavan Rama here in this stotram is described by Shankaracharya in the very first verse. He says, Vishuddham, Param, Satchidananda Rupam. So he is describing the um, Nirguna aspects. That is, Nirguna means attributeless. He is the supreme consciousness. He is the epitome of purity. He is Satchidananda Swarupa. So Bhagavan Rama, he starts this stotram in this way. This is another beauty of Shankaracharya stotras, where we see he brings in both Saguna and Nirguna aspects, that is with attributes and without attributes of Brahman and of whichever Bhagavan he is describing. So we see this even in stotras like Bhujanga-prayata Stotram, Yamekaksharam, Nirmalam, Nirvikalpam. So he describes the Nirguna aspects in that also. Initially he describes Ganesha, and then so these stotras also are a way for us. He leads us. That is the beauty of Acharya's works. He leads us to the ultimate path of advaita and atmajnana, and to realize that ultimate supreme reality and the supreme universal consciousness through these stotras. And in the final verse of this stotra, he says, Asa eva dhanyasa Ramachandraha. So he says, as a person who chants this stotra is Ramachandra himself. So the ultimate, Aham Brahmasmi, that Advaita Tattva is seen in this stotram, in this short stotram of 29 verse of Shankara Bhagavad Padacharya. In this course, we will not be focusing on the meaning. It is also a short course, just 8 days, and the final day will be conclusion and samarpanam. So we essentially have 7 days, out of which today is introduction. So we will be learning about some of the nuances of pronunciation, etc., like we do in our other chanting courses. So we will not have time to go into the meaning. However, in this course, we will be giving you the English meaning, simple English meaning on the slide under each verse, so you can go through. We must also be aware that the English meaning is just a guide, because many of the words in Sanskrit are non-translatables, so to say. We cannot have an exact English translation for the word. It won't be accurate. Even a word like dharma, there is no equivalent word in English. We can just try to use multiple words to seemingly suggest what the word dharma is, but ultimately we have to understand it in Sanskrit itself. Similarly, this English meaning also is just a guide for you to appreciate the shlokas better, but there will be many places where, that discrepancy is there between English and between Sanskritam. So that is just for this stotram, so that you will have the benefit of the meaning also. And at the end, you will have an assessment later, which we will share the details much later, whenever, we complete the course, and then the assessment is due. As you know, the schedule was already discussed, 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. every day, 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. IST. Just a second, I will just remove this annotation. Okay. So, when we chant any verse or read anything, and in any language for that matter, we need to be very clear about the pronunciation, and more so in Sanskrit. And in Sanskritam, it is wonderful that this science of pronunciation or the science of phonetics is an entire shastra by itself. It is called Shiksha Shastram. So much of importance was given to this science of pronunciation. And this Shiksha Shastram is one of the Vedangas. So there are 6 Vedangas, and which help us to understand and appreciate the Vedas better. They are Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandaha, Niruktam, Jyotisham, Kalpaha. So this shloka gives us all the 6 Vedangas. Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chando, Niruktam, Jyotisham, Tatha, Kalpascheti, Shadangani, Vedasyahur, Manishinaha. So Shiksha is one of the Vedangas that shows how much of importance was given to this science of phonetics and science of pronunciation right from our ancient times, times of the Vedas. And what does Shiksha Shastram tell us? It tells us Varnanam Uchcharana Vidhihi Shiksha Ityuchyate. Varna refers to letters. Varnamala, we all know. So, the Uchcharana Vidhihi, the way to pronounce the letters accurately, is given to us by Shiksha Shastram. It is very important to appreciate this because one, of course, very obviously, the meaning itself will change if we don't pronounce the word properly, or if we say alpa prana instead of mahaprana, which we will come to. That is one reason. Other reason, many of you who have attended chanting courses have written to us and told us about your experiences with chanting, with chanting regularly. And many of them have shared how it has improved their breath control. They're able to hold their breath for longer. They experience pranayama effect and meditative experience, etc. So to experience the complete benefits, including health benefits, etc., of chanting, we need to be pronouncing the letters accurately. For example, Mahaprana letters, they require more breath. Like when we say Chandaha, Cha, Vidhihi, Dhi, it requires Ramabhujanga, Bhu, there. These are Mahaprana letters. We will deal with them very much in brief in today's class. They require more breath. So we have to put that effort and chant a Mahaprana as a Mahaprana only. Otherwise, we will not be experiencing, again, like I said, all the benefits of chanting. And also, this Shiksha Shastram gives us not only how letters have to be pronounced, but it also gives us the place of origin of letters, which we will just touch upon briefly in today's class. And there is this verse which beautifully captures how we have to pronounce the letters. Now, Shiksha Shastram, like I said, is a science of phonetics. It is an entire huge Shastram by itself. The most prominent source in this is what we call Paniniya Shiksha. That is by Panini, which is associated with Rig Veda. There are other sources also, but the most prominent source which is referred to is Paniniya Shiksha. And this shloka, I thought it is very interesting to share with you. Vyagri yatha haret putran damshtrabhyam nacha pidayet bhita patana bhedabhyam tadvadvarnan prayojayet. So this is a very beautiful analogy. Vyagri, a tigress. Yatha haret putran. So we are aware in nature, we see that some species like tigers, cats, etc. So once they have offspring, the mother actually picks up the offspring between its teeth and transports it to a different place. And some of you might have seen it as well. So this verse is giving us the example of a tigress, Vyagri. Yatha putran haret, the way it picks up its offspring, damshtrabhyam, with its teeth. So this we know they're all carnivorous animals. They use the same teeth to tear the meat and to have their food. But when the same tigress takes its offspring, newborn offspring, very, very tender, very young offspring, holding it between its teeth, nacha pidayet, but it does not hurt it in any way. It neither drops the offspring nor does it hurt it by keeping it between its teeth. Tadvat varnan prayojayet. So what does this mean? If it holds the offspring too tight between its teeth, the offspring will be, the cub, the tiger cub will get hurt because of the sharp teeth of a carnivorous animal. And if the tigress doesn't hold it tight enough, she's going to drop the cub. So that perfectly the tigress holds the cub in such a way that the cub is neither hurt by its sharp teeth, nor is it dropped because the grip is not tight enough. So that is the perfect balance the tigress achieves. Tadvat varnan prayojayet. Sorry. So that way we have to pronounce the letters also, meaning neither too much than what is required, nor too little than what is required. They should be accurate in pronunciation. Isn't this a beautiful analogy? And it also makes us realize what a depth of knowledge we had, even for small aspects, and how much emphasis and was given to the science of pronunciation and science of phonetics. So, for example, when we will deal with it, hrasva swaraha, dirgha swaraha. So, hrasvaha are short letters, dirghaha long letters. We should not be prolonging the short letters too much, nor should we be cutting them so short that we don't achieve that exact unit of matra kala. We will learn about it in today's class. Similarly, dirgha letters, they should be pronounced for 2 matra kalas. Alpa pranas, how much of breath you need. Mahapranas. So very often we come across that when we are chanting or reading, we inadvertently give more breath to an alpa prana letter or less than required to a mahaprana letter, in which way the chanting will not be accurate. So this verse captures how accurate our chanting should be, neither too much nor too little, but every letter should be pronounced accurately, giving how much ever emphasis and breath which is required to pronounce that letter. Okay. So we will have to conclude this Varnamala and Pranans Shiksha in today's class, and if possible, learn another verse. So we will just be very briefly touching upon these. Those who have attended our courses before, our chanting courses, will already be familiar. We have done it in detail in some of our courses like Saundarya Lahari and Bhagavad Gita. So they are available for free on Sanskrit from Home. You can just register for any chanting course, and you can go through the videos. They are available on YouTube also. I will request our team if we can I will just send them, compile a few of the links of the videos of pronunciation tips from other courses. We will put it up on this course page also, so you can view those videos. And it might become more clear to you if you want more in detail. So this is the Varnamala, or the garland of letters. The letters in green here are what we call swaraha. So they are vowels. Swayam rajante iti swaraha. They independently exist without the help of any other letter. And these from a to aha are swaraha. We have very strictly grammatically speaking, a to au are swaraha, is anuswara, aha is visarga. That is, they form a different category called ayogavaha. And here we have the short letters, rasva swaraha, a, I, u, r, l. Then dirgha, long letters, a, I, u, r, e, I, o, au. So, the dirgha hrasva is a distinction based on the time we take to pronounce each letter. And then we have vyanjanani, that is ka to ha or k to h. So when a vyanjana combines with a swara, we get a gunitaksharam. So k plus a, we get ka. And these are grouped consonants. That is, as you see, ka, vargaha. Varga means group, vargiya vyanjanani. Then ungrouped consonants, that is, or non-grouped consonants. Ya to ha. These are not in any group. And this grouping is also based on Shiksha Shastram, based on the rule of pronunciation. This is not a random, combination of letters given to us, which every time you see, you appreciate the beauty of this language, how scientific it was. So the swaras are grouped as swaraha because swayam rajante, they have independent existence. Vyanjanani only exist with a swara. So, and they also take only ardha matrakam, that is half a matra kala for pronunciation. And in Vyanjanani or the consonants, these groups are also based on the place of origin of letters. We will very briefly touch upon that also in the coming slides today. So, there is this shloka, ekamatro bhavet hrasvaha. Dvimatro dirgha uchyate trimatrastu pluto gnyeyo vyanjanam tvardhamatrakam. Ekamatra means the matra is a unit of time. There are multiple examples given to show what is one matra kala. One very popular example is the time taken to blink your eyelids just once, just blink normally. So that is one matra kala. So that is the time taken for a hrasva swara. So a, I, U, R, L. These are called hrasva swaraha. The distinction becomes very important when we learn the stotras also. We are not supposed to prolong the short letters. Then dvimatraha dirghaha. Double of hrasva would be a dirgha swara. So a, I, U, R, A, I, O, Au. So these are dirgha swaraha. They take two matra kalas for pronunciation. Double of hrasva swaraha. Trimatraha, that is three or sometimes it is four here. They are called plutaha, which we find in Vedas. Some usages we have in Vedic Sanskrit. We don't really come across plutaha in our chanting and generally in our texts which we read. I mean the shlokas, etc. So in Vedas you find this. Ardhamatrakam is vyanjanam. So half a matra kala is a vyanjanam. For example, let's take this. Tvardhamatrakam. So this end, in the end, what you see, this with the halanta, that is a vyanjanam. So that ardhamatrakam, that sound is ardhamatrakam. Half of a hrasvasvara. So that is how accurately we have to pronounce. So when we are chanting, if we are reading Sanskrit word, when we consciously see whether we are pronouncing to the accurate time, then we will be able to learn the pronunciation correctly. Then Gunitaksharam is just for us to know because it helps us when we have to split, etc. in a shloka or a word. So Gunitaksharam is a vyanjanam plus a swara. So k plus a gives us ka. So when we split Shivaha, it is sh plus I plus v plus aha. Ramaha, r plus a plus m plus aha. So that is how Gunitaksharani are formed. Okay. So this is depending on the time taken to pronounce. Then we have Alpa Pranaha and Mahapranaha. I already dealt with it in brief. So here the first and third and the fifth letter of each varga and yirliv are called Alpa Pranaha. Prana is that life force or breath. So you need less breath compared to Mahapranaha for these letters. So k, g, ng, ch, j, ny, t, d, n, t, d, n, p, b, m and y, r, l, v are Alpapranaha. Remaining are Mahapranaha. When there is a verse, very, very frequently we come across in our chanting courses, when there is a verse with lot of Mahaprana letters, then we realize that and supposing we can't split and we have to chant the entire line at a time, we realize while chanting that, you're out of breath by the end of that line. So you need to have that much of breath to chant a Mahaprana letter. And Alpa Prana, of course, requires less than Mahaprana. And this distinction is extremely important. We cannot be interchanging Alpa Prana, Mahaprana while chanting or while reading. So this is the beauty of Sanskrit. The Mahaprana gives, other languages also have Mahapranas. A few languages, probably they're not that prominent, but most Indian languages have Mahapranas, and we have to chant or read the Mahaprana accurately. And never should we interchange the Alpa Prana and the Mahaprana. So next, let us see the Mahaprana letters. K, G, Ch, J, T, D, T, D, P, B, and Sh, S, H. There should be a halanta here. Sorry, it's because it's a vyanjanam. Anyway, this I will include while uploading. So that is also sh. So these are called Mahapranaha. And even Avargiya Vyanjanani have Mahapranaha because they require more breath than the Alpa Prana letters. Okay. Now we move to Anunasikaha. The last letter of each varga, ng, ny, n, m, these are called Anunasikaha. Anu means they follow the nose. So they are pronounced with the help of the nose. So these are called Anunasikaha. And like I was telling you, each varga, it is named based on the starting letter of that varga. So, ka vargaha, cha vargaha, ta vargaha, ta vargaha, pa vargaha. So after today's class, those who have not done this exercise before, an interesting exercise to do would be for you to pronounce these each letter aloud, like ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. And you see where exactly, observe yourself, where exactly is the letter being pronounced from? Meaning, what is the place of origin of that letter? So please do it for all the Vargiya Vyanjanani, Avargiya also you can do. We will share this PPT with you. It might be easier for you to do it. So you will realize that when you say ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, the place of origin is kantaha. That is back of your mouth, the throat. That is where this varga letters are originating from. Next, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. You see where is your tongue touching when you say those letters? Each varga has a different place of origin. And that is how they are grouped. And when you come to pa, pa, ba, bha, ma, you need your lips. So from the kantha to the lips, each varga has a different place of origin. We will give you that chart today briefly. Now, we will not be able to go into all the sutras in detail, but it's wonderful to be aware of this when we are pronouncing the letters. And not only for the Vargiya also we have sutras which tell us where each letter is pronounced from. So this is just a very basic diagram, may not be very accurate, but just shows us the various places of origin of letters. Again, we have, while teaching in the past, we have experienced where, sometimes the translation isn't exactly accurate. So that we'll have to bear in mind every time we try to translate Sanskrit to English. Now, you don't need to know all this, but it's nice to be aware. As in for the assessment, you won't have all this, but it's good to be aware. So like I said, the throat, kantaha, there is a sutra. So again, in Shiksha Shastram, we have sutras which tell us where each letter originates from. So for example, We have a sutra which says, akuha visarjaniyanam kantaha. So, akuha visarjaniyanam kantaha means a and a, these two letters, and pluta a and kavarga, ka kha ga gha nga, ha and visarga. If you look at the first one, which I am showing you here. So, a, then the pluta a, kavarga, ha and visarga. The place of origin is kantaha, throat. Then you have talu for e, then chavarga and y and sh. Talu is pellet. Then murdha, that is r and pluta r, then t, th, d, d, n, r and sh. Now this distinction, especially between these letters, let me just show you. Sh, sh and s, they all sound similar, but they have to be pronounced accurately. So if you see this sh, the place of origin is similar to cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, sh. Whereas this sha, the place of origin is the same as ta, tha, da, dha, na. Again, this is an exercise you all can do. When you say ta, tha, da, dha, na, ra and sh, see how that, where is the tongue hitting? And when you say cha, cha, ja, ja, nya and sh, so that is how we have to differentiate between this sh and this sh. This is murdhanya sh. That is the place of origin. And sa, of course. So l and l plutaswara, ta, tha, da, dha, na, l and sa. Their place of origin is dantaha, the teeth. So we take help of the teeth when we say ta. You can pronounce and see. Ta, tha, da, dha, na, la, sa. So that's, we are taking the help of the teeth and the to pronounce these letters. So in this way, we have sutras given to us. Like I said, akuha visarjaniyanam kantaha, upadmaniyanam oshtau. We should come to upadmaniya today. We'll have to learn that. So for pa, pa, ba, bha, ma, that's the very next one. Oshtau means lips. Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma, and u. We use the lips to pronounce. So that is the place of origin for these. Some letters use have more than one place, like use more than one part. For example, kantha, talu. Both kantha and talu are used by A and I. And kanthostham, kantha and oshtham, that is lips and the throat, for O and Au. And anuswaraha, that is, come, when we say things like that, for that, nasika. Anuswara and nganya, the sutra says nasika cha. Cha means and. So why it says cha? Because for each of the anunasika, they belong to a particular varga. We know, like for example, this one, this nga belongs to kavarga. So ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, right? So this nga is pronounced along with the kantha. You see it here, kantha, because it belongs to kavarga, and also the nose. So the anuswara letters are pronounced along with the, the same place of origin as the other letters in the varga, along with the nose. So ma, for example, oshtau, we use both the lips and the nose. Va, dantoshtham, the lips and the teeth are used to pronounce va. Jihvamula is a particular, we will come to that. Those who are aware, who attended will already know. Jihvamula is when a visarga is followed by ka or kha. Then we get jihvamula. For that, jihvamuliyasya jihvamulam, the root of the tongue. And uraha means chest. So some letters like for example, this letter, when we say Brahma, there is a rule which says when you have Brahma, that ha and ma together, the chest should, that is where the place of origin is. So we pronounce it as Brahma, Vanhihi. Okay, so this is in brief for you. You all can do this exercise at home and realize the place of origin yourselves. This is a beautiful chart which is in detail. We don't need to learn all this in detail. So this gives us the entire Varnamala, the swaras, which are vowels, short vowels, rasvaha, long vowels, dirghaha and plutaha, vyanjanani, which are anvak bhavati iti vyanjanam. It follows the swara. For example, if k combines with a, it becomes ka. K combines with e, it becomes ki. So that way, vargiya vyanjanani and avargiya. We learned grouped and non-grouped. There are other classifications like mrudu, karkasha. We will not go into it for this class. Alpa prana, mahaprana we learned. Ayogavahaha. We learned anuswaraha. That is shukam. Is anuswara. Visargaha, like agaha. Here this is the visarga. Jihvamuliya. So whenever a visarga is followed by ka or kha, we get a pronunciation, we get a jihvamuliya, which is represented by this. In traditional Sanskrit texts, a jihvamuliya is represented by this two U and inverted U kind of a symbol. Antah karanam. So we don't say antaha karanam. We say antah karanam. The visarga is pronounced in that way. Then upadhmaniya, this is the symbol, like a sleeping, like a horizontal 3 it is. That is whenever a visarga is followed by pa or pha. Like for example, tapaha phalam, we pronounce it as tapah phalam. Tapah phalam. Nagurov paramam. If you remember, we just learnt upu padmaniyanam oshtau. So pavarga and upadmaniya, the lips are used to pronounce. So visarga followed by pa or pa, it is called, we get upadmaniya and we use the lips to pronounce that. Okay. So now Yamaha, we are not going to go into that in this class. So ayogavahaha, we have learned this. Upadmaniya, let us learn some examples. Gurov paramam. In this stotra, we have Purav Pranjali Nanjaneyadi Bhaktan. This is from Ramabhujanga-prayata Stotram. So Purav Pranjali Nanjaneyadi Bhaktan. Here there is a visarga. So visarga followed by pa, we get upadhmaniya. Jihvamuliya antah karanam. Shaurih kathamapi. We have some examples from our stotram also. We'll just look at them here. When we learn about visarga sandhi, visarga, as you know, are these two dots. Here also what you see in this word. So whenever visarga combines with certain letters, we get visarga sandhi. Sandhi is nothing but the rule of combining of letters. And that is, we come across that very commonly in our stotras. So here, sa eva Ramachandras sadhanyaha, in the last verse of our Ramabhujanga Stotram. Ramachandraha plus sa becomes Ramachandrasa. So instead of the visarga, a sakara is added. That we will not be going into the rules of all sandhi in this class. Wherever it is necessary and pertinent, I will point out. So then you should know that when we split the sandhi, you get the full visarga. When you combine the sandhi, based on whatever letter is following, the visarga changes. Very commonly, we also come across visarga repha sandhi in this particular stotram. Visarga repha means the visarga disappears and the repha, that is ra, appears. That also we come across. We will, as we learn the shlokas, we will do. Visarga plus pa or pa upadhmaniya. Again, example from this stotram. Nama pundarikaya takshaya. Here there is a visarga. It becomes Nama pundarikaya takshaya. Then Jihvamuliya, visarga plus ka or kha. From our stotram here, Svabhaktagra ganyaih kapishaihi. There is a visarga here, but we chant it as Svabhaktagra ganyaih kapishaihi, Jihvamuliya. And a very important rule, visarga followed by ksha is always chanted completely. For example, this is an example from the Gita. Sama dukkha sukhaha kshami. Whenever visarga is followed by ksha, the visarga has to be chanted completely. Here, this is an example. Dukkha is an example again for a jihva muli. Yeah. Then, when a visarga is at the end of a quarter or end of a line or while pausing, we chant the visarga completely. But when we are combining with other padas or other words, we combine based on the rule of sandhi. This visarga sandhi, we come across a lot, especially in the last few verses of this stotram. Please remember it for now. Then when we learn those, you will know. If we pause at the end of a pada, we should chant the visarga completely. If we are continuing with the other pada, we continue, and depending on the letter which is next, we combine the sandhi. It is a very good breathing exercise, those shlokas. We will do them. It's a few of the last few verses of this stotram. So these are the rules pertaining to visarga. In brief, we have not gone through all the rules of visarga sandhi. Then we have anuswara. Sorry, so where anuswara plus a grouped consonant is replaced by the anunasika aksharam of that particular varga. Like for example, guhantam, there is an anuswara here, right? This is an anuswara. It is followed by gunantam. So gu is a vargiya vyanjanam. It belongs to the kavarga, the first varga. When we chant together, it becomes guhantam gunantam. Instead of guhantam gunantam, we chant it as guhantam gunantam. It is replaced by the anunasikaksharam of the same varga. Again here, swayam dhama. While combining, we chant it as swayam dhama. Na is the anunasika of the, right? Of the same varga, tavarga. So swayam dhama. Please note that this is an optional rule. It is correct to also chant it as guhantam, gunantam, or swayam dhama. These are examples again from our stotram itself, Ramabhujanga-prayata stotram. However, in vyoma and for best practice and consistency, we always combine wherever it is possible to combine the anuswara with the next. We do the sandhi karya and we chant together. We do not split. However, it is not wrong. You can choose to chant by splitting. It is not wrong. It is grammatically correct. Then anuswara followed by ya, la or va also is replaced by an anunasika. Again, an optional rule. It is best practice and consistency demands that we follow this everywhere. From the same stotram, mahantam vibhantam. Instead of mahantam vibhantam, we chant it as mahantam vibhantam. And again from our stotram here, gunadhara madhara hinam varenyam. So see the difference. When I say gunadhara madhara hinam, the anuswara is chanted completely. When I combine it with va here, we are getting this anunasika, nasal tone of va. So, gunadhara madhara hinam varenyam. So that way, this only happens when anuswara is followed by ya, la or va. We follow this consistently in vyoma. So I would urge you all to also start following this anuswara rule. Then briefly, why it is important to chant the letters accurately. Just take the example of alpa prana. Asti means is. Ramaha asti. Rama is there. If you chant it as or read it as asti, thi means bone. Asti means bone. Similarly, phalam. And please note this. This letter is pronounced as pa, not as fa. We don't have that fa pronunciation in Sanskrit, which is there in Hindi. Hindi, it is pronounced as fal. So especially those with the Hindi background, please note this difference. We don't say fa in Sanskrit, it is pa, phalam. Pa, phalam, fruit. So you realize when we say pavarga letters, we use the lips. So phalam, we close the lips. Phalam is fruit. If you make it alpa prana pa, it means meat. So the meaning itself changes. Then these three letters I told you, shivaha, shi, sha, shanmukhaha, sha. So ta, tha, da, dha, na, sha. See how your tongue is twisting. Sh. Then sa. Stotram. Sa. So this sh, sa distinction should be very clear when we chant. We also saw how this distinction is based on the place of origin and the sutras which give us the place of origin. So we cannot interchange as we like. Sh, and sa. Then we come across many conjunct letters, like more than one letter, two or more letters combined. Conjunct consonants called samyuktaksharani. Tarakakhyam. So here ka and ya are combined. Vishuddham. D and dha are combined. We should ensure, take care to chant all the samyuktaksharani accurately. Then we have a very beautiful concept called dvitvam, doubling. I will explain it as and when we come across in our shlokas. Sometimes, though we do not represent it, the letter is doubled when we chant. For example, Shruti Smriti Purananam. Here, extra sa is coming. We don't say Shruti Smriti Purananam. Shruti Smriti Purananam. So if you see, extra sa is coming here. That is Dvitvam. We have lot of Dvitvam examples in this Stotram. Prasida, Prasida, Prachanda, Pratapa. So we don't say Prasida, Prasida, Prachanda, Pratapa. We say Prasida, Prasida, Prachanda, Pratapa. So the Dvitvam, if you observe clearly, you will understand better when we learn the verse. An extra P is heard here. Prasida, Prasida, Prachanda, Pratapa. Wherever I've indicated the yellow line, yellow highlight, the letter is doubling there. Another example from this stotram, Taraka Brahma Rupam. Again, we don't say Taraka Brahma Rupam. Taraka Brahma. If you listen keenly, an extra B is heard, though we don't write it. Taraka Brahma Rupam. Dvitvam also is a very beautiful aspect of Sanskrit pronunciation. It adds beauty to Sanskrit, and many a time Dvitvam comes naturally to us. Like even without knowing that we should chant a Dvitvam, the language itself, while pronouncing, we do it. So when we teach very young children and all, we don't point out everywhere this is Dvitvam, Dvitvam. Just by listening, they learn it, and as they go further, they will be accurately saying Dvitvam on their own, even if we don't point out. That is the beauty of the language. So you will appreciate it when we learn the verses. Sandhi, I said, the rules of combining letters, which only where it is necessary, when we are splitting and combining, we will learn in this course. Okay, so I thought we could actually start today, but this has taken almost an hour. So we will begin the Stotram in tomorrow's class. I would like to welcome the panelists who will help us with the Anucharanam or the repetition. I don't know if they're here, yeah, they're there. Ishu and Charu, could you please share your videos? And we might have another panelist. I don't think she's here. If you're here, please unmute and please switch on your video. Ishu, are you here? Ram, Charu. So Charu is going to help us with the repetition, Anucharanam, and so is Ishu. Ishu, if possible, okay, you have already shared your video. Okay. Ram, Ishu. So welcome to Ishu and Charu. From tomorrow, we are going to be learning the verses, and they will be helping us with the Anucharanam. We will be uploading the PPT and the recordings, audio and video regularly. So please practice. It is a short course. Let us do, as much as possible in these 7 days and master this stotram. So thank you all for joining. Those who are interested to join can still join. So please let them know. They can register for free and join this course. Are there any questions at this point of time only related to what we learned today? I will take them now. Sanjit Das Mahodaya, can we have the audio files for the sound? Okay, you can actually type in your questions in the Q&A. Those who want, I will be answering them. We do have some products, I think, in Vyoma where each letter has been pronounced. but I will just check because it's a part of a larger product. So I will just check and get back to you. And we will share that with you. Shrikant ji, there is no Udva Muliya. There is either Jihva Muliya or Upadhmaniya. So please, there is, I think you have combined both. It's either Upadhmaniya or Jihva Muliya. Jay ji, the time in class IST is 6:30 a.m. morning. And I think Bhagini has answered, Sahana Bhagini has answered some questions. Thank you so much, Sahana Bhagini, for that. Yes, audio video recording you will get. Please invite your friends. You can join. They can join Shrikant ji. Anyone can join this course. IST timing is 6:30 to 7:30. The Stotram will be uploaded in many languages. Accurately, the Stotram will be checked accurately by our linguistic experts. It will be uploaded, the PDF in IAST, in Devanagari, which is shown on the screen to you, and Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, these languages I know that definitely you will get the Stotram in PDF. On the screen only in Devanagari and IAST. Sangeeta Bhagini, a very, very good question we get everywhere. It will take us another half an hour to answer this. Why is Brahma pronounced as Brahma? So there are one reason I already told you is because Uraha, the chest, should be the place of origin for such letters like her combining with ma. That happens, that Aurasya effect, what we call, with the nada originating from the chest region happens when we pronounce it in that way. And also, this is the parampara which has been followed for many years. But there is a detailed video on this by our Dr. Soumya Krishnapur Bhagini, our linguistic scholar. She's an expert in Samskrita Vyakaranam. In our Suprabhatam course, we did an entire session on Vyakarana aspects of pronunciation, where she has described aspects of Dvitvam, this question which you have asked, Sangeeta ji, about Brahma, Vanhihi, Madhyanha. I will share the link to that video. I do it in all my chanting courses. This course is very short. We will not have time for such a session. So I will share the link to that. I request Sahana Bhagini also to put it up on the Vyoma course page. I will send you the link, Bhagini. You can put up the YouTube link on the course page. And maybe next class, tomorrow, I will share it in chat with all of you, the YouTube link. You can go through that. She did a very wonderful session for us answering this question. Harshal Kaustubji, that three, what you have typed is a Plutaswara. That is 3 matra kalas. We don't use it in our stotram in conversational Sanskrit. The Plutaha, they are either 3 or 4 matra kalas. That is why that 3 is the number 3 in Sanskrit, which indicates the time required to pronounce that Plutaswara. It is 3. Whereas if it is it will be, if it is a dirgha, it is only 2 matra kalas. Sangeeta ji, again, Upadhmaniya, a very popular question again. Upadhmaniya is not for pronunciation. It is not like fruit, full. It's not that. So Upadhma, if you say fruit, please observe, or full, we are using our lower lip and the teeth, right? But what is the sutra for Upadhmaniya? Upupadhmaniyanam oshtau. So the nada or the sound should originate from the lips, like Pavarga letters. So Nagurov Paramam. What is exactly is happening is there is a sudden expulsion of air and you close the lips. And that expulsion is from the lips and we close the lips immediately. That is Upadhmaniya. Now, in a physical class, maybe it will be easier to demonstrate, but here I'm trying my best to explain. So sometimes, yes, when we chant Upadhmaniya, like Nagurov Paramam, it is heard close to F, but it is not F sound. So we should not confuse the F sound with Upadhmaniya. This distinction is very clear. F sound requires the teeth and the lower lip. Upadhmaniya, only the oshthav, the lips are required. So as we practice Upadhmaniya in class, you will realize it might be heard, I agree, when some of us pronounce, it is heard a bit like F, but we should know it is not the F sound. Na gurov paramam. So that we use the lips for pronouncing Upadhmaniya. Very popular question. I hope that's clear now. Okay, I have many more questions here. Hema ji, yes, definitely. See, Hemaji, one thing today was just an introduction. Please don't bother about any of these things. From tomorrow onwards, we will just dive into the Stotram. As you learn the Stotram, you will understand these rules. You don't have to by heart these rules to learn the Stotram. In fact, that is not how I learned also. My Mata, Ananta Mata, taught me the Stotram when I was very young. When I didn't even appreciate any of, Mata used to teach students when they don't even know reading. That's how we learn our mother tongue, right? Do we learn meaning, vyakaranam and reading and learn our mother tongue? No. By listening, we get it. That's exactly how you will also learn this stotram. So don't bother about anything. These I had to introduce to tell you the importance of pronunciation and Shiksha Shastram. And also because here we have audience which is elderly. I mean, we don't only have young kids here. So if we are teaching 3-year-old, 4-year-old children, we directly teach stotrams. We don't teach these nuances of pronunciation and all. So please don't bother about rules of Shiksha, Sutrani. You will understand them as we read the stotram, as we learn the stotram. Sangeeta ji, the rule is Upu Padmaniyanam Oshthav. If you want the sutras, I can put it up on the course page. All the sutras are there already. I removed it because there'll not be time in today's class, but I can give you the sutra if you want. Kavita ji, please continue. I mean, you don't need to know advanced Sanskrit for this course as it was announced. Even with no knowledge of Sanskrit, you can join. There's no need to have any knowledge of Sanskrit. If you need any further assistance, Kavita ji, you can write to us. Radha ji, Yajna. Yajna is pronounced, I mean, like I just did, Yajna. Sanjit ji, basic pronunciation course on Shiksha Shastram. Sahana Bhagini should probably, or Shreyas Mahodaya should tell me. Maybe there is one in Vyoma already on Shiksha Shastram. But there are multiple chanting courses, some of them which I have taken, like Bhagavad Gita, Saundarya Lahari, Raghuvira Gadyam, Venkateshwara Suprabhatam. All these courses have, I think, a slightly more detailed explanation of the rules of pronunciation. Here, it's a very short course. So I had to keep it short, which also exceeded like what I thought it would take. So those courses, please just register for free on Sanskrit from Home, Sanjit ji, on any of the chanting courses. The first few classes will be rules of pronunciation in English, and you will be able to. Bhagavad Gita course definitely has one. It has been done twice in Bhagavad Gita course. Once in the beginning, once after the 9th chapter. I think it's session 41 or 51 or something like that. So maybe next class, I will just copy paste these links in the chat box. Chanchal Vadvaji, very, very grateful to you. My humble pranams. Please bless us. She has said that she is close to 90 and she is attending the course. Pranams, Bhagini. Dhanyavadaha. Sarvebhyaha. We have answered all the questions. We will just conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyah. Shvaha punarmilamaha. We will meet tomorrow at the same time, 6:30 a.m. IST. Sahana Bhagini has already shared some very important links with you all in the chat box. Please go through them. धन्यवादाः। राम राम राम, पुनर्मिलामः।